Let me know if this situation is familiar to you. Maybe you've gone into Telescopius or whatever, and you created a list of like targets you want to observe. Now you want to organize it into a calendar or something so you can see, oh, on this period I should observe this target, then this target, then this target over the year. When are each of the targets available? As far as I know, I couldn't find a tool that allowed me to do these like custom target calendars. And that's what I'm trying to solve, and that's what I have solved by creating a small script that I'm going to show you today. Let me quickly show you what the end product of this program is. You can either make one of these ICS files, which are basically like calendar files that just stores all the events in this file, and you could import this into like a Google Calendar or Outlook or pretty much any calendar that you use. You can import this in and you will just get a list of all your targets added as calendar events to your calendar so you can follow them on your smartphone. Alternatively, the program could also output like a calendar like this, and this is where it probably shows that that I'm not really doing a lot of front-end developing. I'm more of a back-end type of software developer. But this is a calendar where you can see my targets, and they're listed. This is just for January, where you can see my targets and which targets are available, what nights I can be out. I'm going to explain how this works and how to calculate this. Okay, so here's the code, and if you haven't done any Python before, this may look complicated. The whole thing is open source. I'll link to it, the GitHub page in the description, so you can go and check it out there. The whole script is controlled from this config file. And what you do in the config file is that you provide it with a number of targets, as you can see that I've done here. You can either provide it with catalog names, as you can see I've done in some cases here, but you can also provide it with what in the code called pretty names. So like human readable names, so like Lagoon Nebula, Rosetta Nebula, the Leo Triplet. You can put either in here and it will look it up and look up the catalog number and try to find out where it is. So you can put in pretty much anything here if it's a valid astrophotography target. And now it's going to go through a year, and for each of these targets, it's going to see if the target is considered observable on a given night based on the number of criteria that you give the program. Some of the criteria, of course, is your location. As you can see, I put that in up here at the top. You can put in like your full address if you want. You can put in just a city and a country if you want to. This is just a search string basically, so you can just put in the country if you want to. Put in whatever you want, and it's going to try to find that location as good as it can. Then you can put in the calendar year. That's just the year that it's going to calculate for. So in my case, it's going to produce the calendar for the entirety of 2025. Then you have your minimum altitude, which I've set to 20 degrees. And that means that I consider the target observable as soon as it passes above the 20 degrees above the horizon. So I can't observe it just at the horizon because there'll often be trees and other things and it's noisy down there. So I say 20 degrees above the horizon, that's when I consider this target observable and when I can actually begin to take images of it. You can also have a maximum altitude if you don't want it to go straight overhead. Sometimes that can cause problems. So you can basically set, oh, I only want this to be, well, I don't know, 90, 85 or 80 degrees. In my case, I just go all the way up to 90. Okay. Moon separation degree, that's just how far the target needs to be away from the moon before we consider it observable. And the same thing here, moon illumination percentage, which is just how big of how much moon is allowed to be on a night before we consider the night observable. So if there's more than 50% moon illumination on the night, I am considered a non-observing night. And finally, we can set the minimum number of observable minutes. So if the target is only available for, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe during a night, then I'm not considered an observable target on the night. I want at least 2 hours of data on the target before I even consider it an observable target that night. And then finally down here at the bottom, you can control stuff like whether you should make those calendar files or whether you should make the images that I showed you before. So you just fill all this out with your configurations, and then you're pretty much ready to run the program. So once you installed all the required packages that's in the requirements file, it's just about running the Python program. So you just run the Astroplan, and again, if you're not familiar with Python, there is a number of good tutorials for Python in there. And I should say, this is a very, very first take on this. I'm hopefully going to expand on this. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. But we're just going to basically run the program. Okay, so we can see it just prints out all the configuration files. Then it prints out information about my my location, my time zone, and then it goes through the list. And we can see here my first target was M81. It finds M81. It correctly detects that it's Bode's galaxy. It detects its RA and deck, and it does that for all the other targets: the Great Orion Nebula, the Pleiades, Lagoon. And you can see here for the Lagoon, it then looks up that, oh, that's M8. So for some reason it couldn't find a catalog number for the Rosetta Nebula, so that doesn't have one. But it doesn't matter. It just goes through all the nebulas, all the targets. And now, as we can see here, it then begins looking for target opportunities. It starts on the first day that we set it to. Then it says, okay, we have an observation window. And that's because I detect how much astronomical darkness there is each night. And if the observation window is too narrow, if there's not enough astronomical darkness, I'm not even gonna begin trying to detect whether the targets are observable, because the night itself is just not really useful. And the same thing with the moon illumination. If there's more than the whatever moon illumination we put in here, it's just going to consider the whole night to be non-observable. But in this case here, we can see we have 821 minutes of astronomical darkness, which is good. And now it says the following targets are available in the night. And it just does that day after day. And if we scroll forward here into the summer at some point, see how far it's, yeah, there you go. Here you can see now we're getting into the summer here in Denmark, and now it says there are 33 minutes, observable minutes for this night, but 180 was required. Night is not valid for observations. So in this night I only have 33 minutes of astronomical darkness, so I can't really observe. And you can see here there's also nights where there's no astronomical darkness. And you just go through this all through the entire year, and then at the end, which is almost at, and there we go, we're done. So now we can see we have these, where do they go? There, we have these calendar images. And again, as I said, I'm not really good at front-end developing, so maybe someone else who is can try to make this better. But this is kind of like a rudimentary first attempt. But the way I really want to use it, for me at least, is by using, where did it go? Using that ICS file. The way you do this is, you can see here, I've just jumped into my Google Calendar, and I'm always recommending that you create a new calendar. Let's call this one for Astroplan. Now in the settings, in the calendar settings, we go to the import menu. We select the Astroplan that we had before, and then we're going to select our file. We're going to open that file, and we're going to click import. And after you waited a few minutes, it's now imported 1003 events into the calendar. And now we can see our calendar here, each night, where over the year. Now we can see this is from the period where there's too much moonlight due to my moon conditions. We can see each night which targets are going to be available on that night. And now we get into the time of the year here in Denmark where there's no astro darkness. And now darkness returns here in the middle of August. And then once again, we have some observations that we are able to do. And if you're wondering, the times these are set, that's when the target becomes available. So if it moves above the horizon, that's when you can begin observing it. And if we open up an event, we can see the target, we can see when the observation begins, and we can see the estimated observation time. Here we have almost 13 hours of available observation time. So there's obviously a lot of things I want to improve on this. First of all, I think it would be cool to have some of these criterias with like moon separation and minimum moon illumination, have that per target and not as a global setting. So that's one thing I want to change. I also really want to make it more user-friendly, hopefully get a nice like user interface on top of it, so you don't have to sit and run command line things. Maybe get into a web app. I don't really know which direction I'm going to take this from here, but at least this is where it is from now. And as I said, I'm going to post a link for it. It's all open source, so you can go, you can get this program yourself. You can make changes to it if you want to. And if you make something cool, I would love if you would make a pull request so that I can maybe add it so that people in the future can see this as well. So I think it's a good starting point. As I said, there's loads of room for improvements. I would also love to hear your suggestions for improvements in the comment section below. If you know how to write some Python code, again, you're more than welcome to get the code and make a pull request. And I would love to see what you guys come up with the code. But yeah, all feedback, comment section below. I would love it. Thank you very much. I want to check from civil sunset until civil sunrise. That's fine.
bracket for the focuser here actually extends down below this plate. So it's actually riding on that plate, not sitting